The Glass Slipper's Hidden Curse. Chapter 1. A Life of Servitude. In a quaint village nestled within a verdant kingdom, Ella lived a life shadowed by sorrow. Orphaned young, she resided with her stepmother, Lady Tremaine, and her two stepsisters, Anastasia and Drizella. The once warm home of her childhood had turned cold under Lady Tremaine's rule. Ella scrubbed floors, mended clothes, and cooked meals, her hands calloused from endless toil, while her stepfamily lounged in finery bought with her late father's dwindling fortune. Ella's only refuge was the attic, a dusty sanctuary where she kept a wooden chest, her mother's last gift before illness claimed her. She rarely opened it, fearing the memories it held. But it was her tether to a happier past. At night, she'd whisper to the stars, dreaming of a life beyond the walls that confined her. One crisp autumn day, a royal herald rode through the village, proclaiming a grand ball at the palace. The prince, seeking a bride, invited every eligible maiden. Anastasia and Drizella squealed with delight, plotting their gowns, while Lady Tremaine's eyes gleamed with ambition. Ella, however, dared not hope. Her stepmother would never allow it. Chapter 2. The Royal Ball. That night, as the house buzzed with preparations, Ella retreated to the attic. Desperation gnawed at her. She knelt before the chest, lifting its creaking lid. Inside lay a delicate gown of silver silk and a pair of shimmering glass slippers, fragile yet radiant. A folded note rested atop them, penned in her mother's elegant hand. "May these bring you joy, but remember, true happiness comes from within." Ella hesitated. The gown was a relic of a bygone era, the slippers an oddity. Yet they called to her. She slipped them on, marveling as they fit perfectly, molding to her feet like a second skin. A surge of warmth coursed through her, and when she glanced in a cracked mirror, she saw not a servant but a vision of grace and beauty. With her stepfamily departed for the ball, Ella donned the gown and slipped out into the night. The slippers sparkled under the moonlight, guiding her to the palace. There, amid chandeliers and swirling dancers, she caught the eye of Prince Alaric. His smile was kind, his voice gentle as he asked her to dance. The world melted away, and for the first time, Ella felt truly alive. Chapter 3. Magic and Mystery. The hours flew by in a blur of music and laughter. Alaric was smitten, his gaze never straying from Ella. She felt invincible, the slippers lending her an ethereal charm. But as the clock neared midnight, a chill gripped her. Her mother's cryptic words echoed in her mind, and an instinct urged her to flee. She tore herself from Alaric's arms, racing down the grand staircase. One slipper caught on a step, tumbling free, but she didn't stop. Breathless, she reached home and hid the remaining slipper, her heart pounding with exhilaration and dread. The next morning, the village buzzed with news. The prince, clutching a single glass slipper, vowed to find the mysterious maiden who'd captured his heart. Ella dared to dream, but fear of her stepmother, of the unknown, kept her silent. Chapter 4. Midnight Flight. Days later, Alaric's search reached Ella's home. Lady Tremaine, sensing opportunity, primped Anastasia and Drizella, dismissing Ella with a sneer. "Stay out of sight," she hissed, locking Ella in her room. Downstairs, the stepsisters crammed their feet into the slipper, grimacing as it refused to yield. Alaric, unconvinced, demanded to see every woman in the house. A servant, pitying Ella, unlocked her door. She descended, trembling, as Alaric held out the slipper. It slid onto her foot effortlessly, and his face lit with joy. "It's you," he breathed, pulling her close. Lady Tremaine's smile was tight, her eyes venomous, but she said nothing as Ella left with the prince, the second slipper clutched in her hands. Chapter 5. The search life at the palace was a dream. Alaric showered Ella with affection, and the court welcomed her warmth. She wore the slippers again for a banquet, their magic enhancing her every step. Yet shadows crept in. Servants whispered of sudden illnesses, crops withered in the fields, and a storm raged unnaturally over the kingdom. Ella's joy faltered. She noticed Alaric's brow furrow with worry, though he hid it from her. One night she awoke to a nightmare, a vision of the slippers glowing darkly, tendrils of shadow snaking from them. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were to blame. Chapter 6. Dark Omens. Determined to protect Alaric, Ella confessed her fears. Together, they sought Merlin, a reclusive sorcerer who'd served the royal family for decades. His tower was cluttered with tomes and artifacts, his eyes sharp despite his age. Ella presented the slippers, and Merlin's expression darkened. "They're cursed," he said, tracing the glass with a gnarled finger. "A powerful enchantment binds them. Whoever wears them wins love, but that love brings doom to all they hold dear." Ella paled. "How do I stop it?" Merlin's gaze was grave. "The curse stems from malice. Find its source, someone who knew their power, and break it there." Chapter 7. The Wise Sorcerer. Merlin's words pointed to Lady Tremaine. Ella recalled her stepmother's bitterness, her unexplained knowledge of the attic's contents. "She hated my mother," Ella murmured. "Could she wield such magic?" Alaric vowed to stand by her. With Merlin's guidance, they returned to Ella's childhood home. The house stood eerily silent, its rooms stripped bare. In the cellar, they found a hidden door, sealed with runes. Merlin shattered the wards, revealing a chamber aglow with dark energy. Chapter 8. The Truth Unveiled. Lady Tremaine awaited them, clad in black, an amulet pulsing at her throat. "You've meddled too far," she sneered. "Those slippers were my revenge." She recounted her tale. Ella's mother, a gifted sorceress, had outshone Tremaine in their youth, winning the love of Ella's father. Consumed by jealousy, Tremaine turned to dark arts, cursing the slippers meant as a royal gift. "I wanted her legacy to rot," she spat. "And you with it." The curse had spiraled, feeding on love and twisting it into ruin. "It's beyond me now," Tremaine admitted, a flicker of fear in her eyes. Chapter 9. Confronting the Past. Merlin revealed the cure. The slippers must be destroyed in a sacred fire atop Mount Elara, but only after the curse's hold was weakened, through forgiveness or the amulet's destruction. Elise Retiro, forgive the woman who tormented her? Yet the kingdom's fate hung in the balance. With Alaric and a band of knights, Ella set out. Tremaine, bound, trailed them, her silence heavy with resentment. Chapter 10. The Stepmother's Tale. The journey was grueling, forests teeming with shadow beasts, rivers that whispered despair. Ella's resolve wavered, but Alaric's steady presence bolstered her. At night, by the campfire, Tremaine spoke again, her voice raw. "I loved him too," she said of Ella's father, "but he saw only her." Ella glimpsed the broken woman beneath the malice. Her mother's note echoed. "True happiness comes from within." Could forgiveness heal more than the curse? Chapter 11. Breaking the Curse. At Mount Elara's peak, the sacred fire blazed, fed by ancient magic. Ella lanzó los zapatillas en las llamas, pero una entidad oscura estalló, a manifestación del poder de la maldición. It lashed out, wounding knights and threatening Alaric. Tremaine, unshackled by Merlin, seized the amulet and hurled it into the fire, weakening the entity. "End it," she rasped. Ella faced her, heart pounding. "I forgive you," she said, tears streaming. The words rang with truth, shattering the curse's core. Chapter 12. The Journey. The entity dissolved, the fire consuming the slippers. The air cleared, and the kingdom's malaise lifted. Tremaine, exhausted, knelt before Ella. "I don't deserve this," she whispered. You can still change, Ella replied, offering a hand. Tremaine took it, a tentative step toward redemption. Chapter 13. The Sacred Fire. Back at the palace, Ella and Alaric rebuilt what the curse had broken. The people hailed her, not just as a princess, but as a savior. Tremaine departed, seeking a quiet life to atone for her past. Chapter 14. Forgiveness and Redemption. Ella and Alaric wed beneath a sky free of shadows, their love untainted by magic. The slippers were gone, but Ella's strength remained, forged not by enchantment, but by her own heart. Epilogue, a new beginning. Years later, Ella sat with her children, recounting the tale. The slippers promised happiness, she said, but it was forgiveness that made it real. The kingdom thrived, a testament to love's enduring power over any curse.